All right. It says we are officially live, so I guess we are. Let me know if you can see and hear me in the comments once this feed gets published. If you're watching this on the replay today, we are going to be talking about something that is not really sexy, but it has to be talked about because it can stand between you and results, and that is procrastination. Do you suffer from procrastination? And a lot of times this comes in all different forms. And one thing that can bring on procrastination is overwhelm. And there are some things that we can do to help us with this. And so, what I'd like you to do, and if you are watching this on a replay or if you're here live, doesn't matter, let me know in the comments if this is something that you have struggled with in the past or something that you might be struggling with right now. And the first thing that we need to do, though, is recognize that. So I know sometimes it's a little scary to admit it, but let me know, just so this way here we can kind of all come together and see where everyone's at. I know myself, I definitely have, and it comes, it comes every now and then. It comes when maybe a big project's coming up, or maybe when I'm doing a pivot or whatever. It does show its face. And we just have to learn how to deal with it. Because if you do not deal with it, well, then you're going to probably be frustrated because you're not getting the results that you want. Now, we also can maybe self-identify if maybe that's what's going on right now, because you might not even know it that you're procrastinating right now until you actually do some internal work here where we can kind of identify the problem. Because if there's something that you've been wanting to either do or set the goal and then achieve the goal and it's just not happening, we need to go back a little bit and go, hey, what's going on here? Why is that result not happening? Or why am I not getting closer to it? And it could be because we're not taking the action steps. And the reason why we're not taking those action steps is because we're procrastinating because of either the project, we don't want to do it, or we're afraid of, well, is this thing going to work? Right? So we have to identify that. So anyway, that's what we're going to be talking about here today. This is a jam session. So this is our Friday jam sessions. If you have a question, whether it's on this or anything else, that's what these sessions are for. We are going to kick this thing off, and we will do it our typical way. Once we get rocking and rolling here, is I'm going to pause, and then we'll kick it off. So this way here, this can turn into a podcast episode. And we can go ahead and air it and help other people that aren't here with us here on the Coffee Talk. So it looks like Barry says, we can hear you. What's up, Barry? Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Ruth is up or is here up bright and early. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Salma is here. And Barry does say, have always struggled with it. You know what? The first thing is, Barry, it's admitting it, I think, is a big one. A lot of times we don't want to admit it, or we don't even realize that that's what we're doing. So yeah, we do all struggle with it in one way, shape, or form. We just have to identify it. And then once we do, I've got some tools I'm going to give you guys, some things that we can do to help with this. All right. I'm also going to walk you through this little exercise that will allow you to get clarity on what it is you're really trying to do. And then from there, setting up boundaries. So this way here, we only focus on what we are really looking at and focusing on, so we can move forward with these little micro wins that actually stack up to become big wins. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing here. Yes. Fear causes procrastination. Salma says yes. Kate says, good morning. I need to get up, but I don't want to. Blankets are warm. Is this procrastinating? LOL. I definitely struggle with overwhelm, which leads to procrastination. Yes. Yes, absolutely. And then good morning, Scott and Rockers. It's Friday. Now this is either Karen or Octavio, I think. And Justin, what's up? How's it going? Good morning to you as well. All right, guys. If you guys, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Can you see this? Can you guys see that scratch on my face? You guys see that right there? Well, that right there was some love that I was getting from my my dog, Maisie. She jumped up yesterday, wanted to give me a hug. I actually get on my knees. I actually got a picture. I'm going to actually post it, I think, on social because it was so darn cute. And she's about 75, maybe even 80 pounds now. And she's just so lovable. But yeah, she doesn't know that she's got these massive paws with nails, right? So she came up and hooked me on the one side with it. And I didn't realize it till later, but I got a little scratch there. It's a little love scratch from my daughter, Maisie. That is my pet, my fur baby. No cat scratch, Gio. Good morning, buddy. And it is Karen. Okay, Karen, thank you. And Jose says, yep, self-doubt creeps in. Awesome. Yes, it does. Thank you for posting that, Jose. And thanks for showing up on YouTube, by the way. So cool. What's up, Alejandro? What up, professor? What's up? What's up? Yeah, I got the glasses on. So we are officially a professor, right? Isn't that how it works? You get a set of glasses and you're all of a sudden a professor. Became harder to set boundaries with kids, schooling at home, wanting another snack. Yes, I can totally get that. Totally get that. When you have kids and you're working out of your home, it can be a challenge. And until they get in school, it's going to be a challenge. So I've done, business out of my home for the past 20 years, and I've had all my kids kind of, go through that. But with school, it's a whole new thing because you used to get them to like 5 years old, and then they go to school or in preschool. 4 years old, and they'd go to school, and then you're like, okay, I got half a day or I got a full day where I can get some work done. But now with school, it's virtual, virtual schooling kind of makes it even harder. So there does have to be some boundaries. And Jose says, thanks for the reply to the email. Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you sending that in. All right, cool. So let's do this. Let's kick this thing off. Oh, I should probably do this as well. Let me see here. I want to put this up. If you guys are watching this for the first time and you want to be part of our official Take Action Morning Crew, head on over to takeactioncrew.com. That's where you get to surround yourself with like-minded people right here. And we show up Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we will be sending out some special goodies for the Take Action Morning Crew. And any updates that we do will be sent to you. There's also a cool player there as well. So make sure you go there, takeactioncrew.com, and you can check out that free player, which gives all of the archives to these coffee talks. All right, so cool. Let's get rocking and rolling. I'm going to take a sip of coffee, and then we're going to kick off the jam session. We're going to talk all about procrastination, overwhelm, and how to overcome it. All right? And because this is a jam session, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Let's act as if we're in the coffee shop together. We're hanging out, right? We're going to hang out for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. That's what these coffee talks are all about. All right? All right, cool. So here we go. I'm going to pause, get my notes up, and here we go. All right, welcome to another Friday jam session. This conversation today is going to be about something that a lot of people, including myself, either struggle with now or have struggled with in the past. And that is overcoming procrastination or overwhelm and how to take action to see results. Anyone ever feel like that? I'm raising my hand. If you're listening to this in the podcast, you can't see me, but yes, I've definitely felt that. And it's a problem. Like, let's face it, it's a problem. Are there things that we can do to prevent this or just help when it happens? Because it's not gonna go away and never come back, right? Life throws us things all the time, and we have to adjust. We have to deal with now kids are being homeschooled more, or they're virtual learning, right? We have to deal with that. If you have young kids, there's all of these things that are different right now that weren't here a year ago, maybe. And now we have to deal with it. Or maybe you're starting a new part of your business, or maybe you're starting your business from scratch. Okay. There's different things that are going to happen, but what we need to do is we need to be able to control it. We need to be able to manage it. And that's what I'm going to do here in this Friday jam session. This is also where I open it up for questions. So if you are listening to this and you are not here live because you're listening to this on the podcast, head on over to takeactioncrew.com. You'll go there. You'll find a sign up little form there where you can join us officially. It's free, by the way. And then from there, you're going to also get access to a smart player that will allow you to search for any topic, any small little thing that you're struggling with, anything. You're going to type that in that little search bar. It's going to find every single part of a coffee talk that was discussed. It's a pretty cool player. It's free for you, the morning crew, the Take Action morning crew. So head on over and check that out. All right, so cool. Let's just dig in. How to overcome procrastination and take action. That is what I titled this. And I am going to kick this thing off with an example. So let's say that you're working on a project. I see a lot of times when you have a project, or if you even think about this, back in school, right? In high school, even. Let's go all the way back to high school. We have an assignment and it's due and we put it off because we don't want to do it. And we put it off. Why? Because we just don't want to do it. We're having too much fun doing this other stuff, or we have maybe something else that we're working on. Maybe it's sports, right? Maybe it's a play that you're in, whatever. And we're going to put that off and we're going to put it off and we're going to put it off. And that's procrastination, right? Because we just don't want to do it. Now, sometimes procrastination comes in another form of where we don't want to do it because we're afraid, we're fearful that what we're working on is not going to work. And that could be for a variety of different reasons. One of them could be like, I've tried some stuff in the past and it didn't work. I don't want to feel like a failure, right? So then we avoid it and we don't do it, even though we want to do it. All right. So we need to get past that stuff so we can take consistent action. Okay. And there's some ways that we can do this. There's some rules that we can set for ourselves, and I'm going to cover them. All right. But I'm going to go through these. I've got 5 areas that I want to discuss right now. It's kind of like a little exercise. So if you are listening to this, you might want to get a pad of paper and kind of go through this and start identifying this as I start going through these questions and these prompts, if you will. All right. So number 1, the very first thing that we need to do is we need to get real with ourselves. We have to get real with ourselves. We have to identify that, yes, we are procrastinating. It's okay, but we have to admit it to ourselves. We have to identify it. We can't go, no, I don't procrastinate. I'm just not doing that because I don't have time yet. I'm going to do that. And there's a reason why you're putting it off. There's a reason why you're not setting up a routine to get that stuff done. Okay. And a lot of times, like I said, it's because of either being afraid or, you have other projects going on, or you don't have time, or you keep, stalling in a sense because you just don't want to do it. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is identify, are you a procrastinator? All right. Now, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that you're like a lot of us, including myself at times. I still do it to this day. That's why I set boundaries and I set deadlines and all of that stuff. I have to almost trick myself in order to do it. Okay. So, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. All right. So number 1, get real with yourself. Are you a procrastinator? All right. If you are here live on the coffee talk that we're doing right now, then I want you to put it in the comments. If you are not, and you're at home and you're listening to this, or you're on the treadmill, just make a mental note and, just identify with yourself. Get real with yourself. That's the first part, right? Is you have to identify it. I'll give you an example of this. And I think some of you may know, if you guys read my book, The Take Action Effect, I talked about that there. And I did a podcast episode about it as well. My mother, who's no longer with us, she passed away at 50, by the way, of a heart attack. And a lot of it was because of substance abuse back in the day. But she was a recovering alcoholic, and the one thing that she taught me, and she was a recovered alcoholic for 25 years when she passed away. A lot of mental illness, a lot of that stuff, right? A lot of stuff. But the one thing that I learned from her and all of the therapy she went to and the AA meetings and all that stuff is the first part of getting help is admitting you have a problem. Like, simple, right? You can't get help if you don't admit that you have a problem. Now, having a problem isn't bad. It just means, like, I'm saying, like, yeah, I got a problem with this. I want to get help. I want to get this fixed. It's the same idea here. Okay. Now, of course, alcoholism, mental health, it's a little bit different, right? It's a little bit more serious, but this could be serious for you in your life and where you want to go. So think about it that way. All right. So hopefully that painted a little bit of a picture there for you. We have to identify it. We have to admit it. We have to kind of own up to it. And then we can start creating the plan to fix it. All right. So that's number one. Number two, identify your goal or target for the next 12 months, not the next 2 years, 4 years, 8 years, 10 years. We don't need to do that. What is the goal that you are working towards? Now, this may take some time. You may start with a revenue goal, and then from there, you got to work backwards. And then we need to break it down into manageable pieces, all right, of action steps. And then we need to do the work. But we need to figure out what that target is. And the one thing I will say, do not make that target where I want to make $1 million and I haven't even started my business yet. Like, let's be realistic with the goal. Because what I will tell you is this, is it's kind of like a dividend paying stock. It's small today, but as it compounds over time, it grows really, really big. Same thing with the business, right? If we get 100 pieces of content published, we got a much greater chance of that to start getting some traffic than if we have 3, right? Makes sense. All right. So again, we need to identify the goal or the target. We need to get clear about that. And it needs to be for 12 months from now. Okay. So that's number 2. Okay. The third thing is now asking yourself this question: why have I not taken action? Or why have I stopped taking action? And you may identify with, well, I got busy. I got a full-time job. That takes up a lot of my time during fourth quarter. And you know, there's nothing I can do. I got my family, I got that, and that's understandable. Maybe we find a way to just slide one little bit of time, whether it's 3 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever it is. What could we do to make that a routine so at least we don't lose momentum, right? But that stuff happens. But we need to ask ourselves that. You know, it could be also, like I had said earlier, it could be something, well, I failed in the past. Admit that. You know, kind of reflect on something. I remember, again, I wrote that in my book, The Take Action Effect, is years ago, I was playing around with Amway, right? And I went and I pounded the pavement, right? We didn't have the internet. We didn't have social. You know, I think we had a pager. You know, I had a pager back then. I was still working construction. You know, that was going to be my ticket. And I asked all my friends, all my family to let me show you the plan. And then after I figured out that it wasn't going to work for me, I was embarrassed. And I never wanted to feel like that again. So that actually held me back, because now if I had something that I thought might be a good idea to try, I was holding off. And the reason why I was holding off is because I didn't know if it would work for me, and I didn't want to look embarrassed. So we have to look back and see what are the reasons why we could be being held back. Okay. So again, self-identify, write that stuff down. I really encourage you guys to take this. And if you're watching this, go back to this, pad of paper, sit down, go through this exercise. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to get a lot of clarity. And there may be some stuff that comes to the surface that needs to come to the surface and that you can now deal with, right? You have a reason why, and it doesn't have to feel bad. It can feel good. Like, oh, wow, look at this. I've just identified the reason why I've been holding myself back. Amazing. Right? All right. So the other thing is maybe you don't believe in yourself. Again, a lot of times it comes from, well, I don't have the skill set that Scott has. You know, Scott's got new glasses now. He's smarter. No, I'm just kidding. You know, so I've felt like that in the past. How am I going to compare to some of these other leaders out there or influencers in this space? I'm just a guy that struggled through high school. I ran a construction company with my dad. But, you know, I don't give myself enough credit, maybe. Look at all that I've done, right? So I've went through those struggles and I have to overcome them. But that could be something that holds me back, right? And now I have to identify that. And I have to correct it in my head and say, wait, Scott, there's a lot. Look at your track record, man. Look at all the stuff that you've done, right? And then you have people telling you the things that you've done. Scott's good at that. You know, Scott's good at that. I just had my wife tell me last night, because I was cutting my son's hair, my 22-year-old son, because of COVID, he's not going to go to the barber, and he wanted me to cut his hair. I cut my own hair, by the way. Yeah, you might not have known that. I haven't had anybody cut my hair. Gosh, probably going back 15 to 17 years. Done it all myself. Right. And so my son wanted me to do it. Well, my son's hair is longer and stuff. I'm like, this is a little, I got to use scissors and stuff. I got to blend it. I didn't do any YouTube. I just kind of looked at it and I kind of did it, and it come out pretty good. And my wife goes, man, you can do anything. And I'm just like, I just kind of winged it, but a lot of people can't do that, right? I can kind of figure things out. I don't give myself enough credit for that. You need to look at those things too and say, wow, look what I did do. That's pretty awesome. Good job. Good job. And then that'll help you get through that. The other thing I wanted to bring up here is when you feel overwhelmed with what's next, and then you shut down and then you do nothing, right? So we have to really control the overwhelm. And a lot of times the overwhelm, I'm going to give you something here in a minute that will help you with overwhelm, but you have to live by it. Okay. And it's not hard, but you do have to have some discipline. I'll share that with you. Okay. So overwhelm definitely leads to procrastination, because it just seems like, man, I got so much to do. You know what? It's easier just to do nothing and just go, look on social media, right? It's just easier. It's fun. I don't have to really do anything but think. Or, you know what? I'm going to buy another marketing course, because if I'm doing that, I feel like I'm working on my business, but I'm really not doing anything in my business. I'm just learning what I need to do, right? So that can be procrastination. And those things. All right. So that's number 3. Why have you not taken action? Get real with yourself. Okay. Number 4. Now what we want to do is we have our goal for the next 12 months. We've gotten that now, right? We've identified what has been holding us back ourselves internally. Now what we want to do is we want to sit down feeling good, because we have control, and we want to create a detailed but simple action plan for the next 30 days. Just the next 30 days. That's it. Not 60 days, not 90 days, not a year, 30 days. And this is exactly why inside of Brand Creators Academy, we always have our members, when they're coming in, especially when they're brand new, 30-day roadmap. 30-day roadmap. Or if you're done with that, we move into the different stages. You're in stage 3, work in stage 3. Don't move out of stage 3 until you get done, or don't move on to stage 4 until you get out of stage 3, right? So that's why we do that. It's so easier to just stay laser focused on one area or one part. 30 days. Okay. So now that's what we want to do there. We want to create a detailed plan. We know the big vision. Now we got to reverse the steps, right? Oh, we got to buy a domain name. Oh, we got to get hosting. Okay. We got to write our first blog post. Okay. Right. 30 days. That's what we're doing. That's what we're going to break that down. Okay. Simple action steps. Okay. Okay. Now the last thing, number 5, is a big one. This is a big one. Make a commitment to yourself today. I know it sounds simple, but I can't do it for you. You have to make a commitment that you are going to do this, right? You're not going to be falling in the trap of procrastination anymore. You are going to take ownership. You are going to take control of you getting the results that you want. And I know that sounds simple, but it is so, so powerful. You have the control. Okay. Say it with me. I have control. I have control, which you do. It's all up here. And I know that this topic is not a strategy that's going to build your business bigger, although it would if you would take this and apply it to the strategies that you're trying to implement in your business. But this here is what doesn't get talked about a lot, because it's not like how to get more email subscribers, how to get more traffic to your website, how to sell more of your product. Yes, that stuff is all part of the plan, but we need to get this right before we can do any of that stuff, because we need to do this on a regular basis. And we need to make it so where we're just We're doing action steps, not just spinning our wheels. Okay. So I got those 5 for you. I'm going to recap those, and then I'm going to give you 2 other things that I want you to consider doing that will help you. That will help you. It might be scary. Okay. It might be scary to some of you. Hang with me here. Okay. So number 1, get real with yourself. Are you a procrastinator? The first part of getting help is admitting that you have a problem. Okay. Number 2, identify your goal or target for the next 12 months only. 3, why have you not taken action? Why have you not taken action? Identify that. Is it from a past failure? Is it because you don't believe in yourself? Are you overwhelmed with everything that's got to be done? What is the reason? Number 4, create a detailed but simple action plan for 30 days only. Okay. And then once you get done with that, little side note, you repeat that for the next 30. We work in 30-day blocks. Okay. And then 5, big one here, make a commitment to yourself today to do this, to live by this, take control. Okay. All right. So that's that. That's number 5. That's the 5 different things. And I would encourage you to go through this, even if you might have to go back through this one here. You may need to archive this one, bookmark this one, put this somewhere where you can go back and listen to it again. Go through this once a month. Go through it once every other week if you want. Whatever you need. You need to hear this. If you're here right now, if you're listening to this right now and you've listened this long, then you're probably needing this. So do it. All right. All right. So 2 things here that will, to me, dramatically help you get stuff done. Okay. So we need to avoid distractions. I think we would all agree it's a very noisy world out there right now, whether it's the TV, whether it's the internet with social media and all the, we got Instagram, we got Facebook, we got TikTok, we got all these things. And it's just like, boom, 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 like all this stuff. We got emails coming in at us, right? We've got Facebook messages coming at us. We've got all these different ways for people to get our attention. And we're just like bouncing around. And a lot of times you're okay with bouncing around because guess what it's doing? It's preventing you from doing what you should be doing because, I don't know if I want to do that right now because it seems like a lot of work. Or, oh, I don't want to do that because what if I do and it doesn't work? I'm going to look like a failure. I'll deal with that tomorrow. Let me go over here and just entertain myself or consume content. All right. So give yourself rules of when you can be on social media. One of those times should be at 10 a.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Because I believe, and I'm kidding, but I'm not. Because if you take just what I'm doing here, if you just inject this into your day, and I've had so many people say, Scott, I just tune in, I do the replay. I don't even come on live. I just do the replay because I need a little bit of your energy to get me through the day, through the week, right? And if that's what you need, this is your weekly dose of that, okay? And then just carry on with that. But then you can't go to another live and then go to Clubhouse and then go over to Instagram and go to this one and that one. Before you know it, 4 hours have passed. You got nothing done. We can't do that. We got to have rules. We got to have rules for ourselves. So your little homework, when is that time going to be for you? Okay. What is that time going to be for you? And then you got to be disciplined about that. So I'll give you an example. In the morning, okay, when I get up, I go on my walk at around 6 o'clock, and then I do my workout, and then I do some stretching, and then I do my meditation, and then I go take a shower, and then I come out, I get my coffee ready. That's it, right? And during that time, I do not pick up my phone. I don't look at social. I don't look at any of that stuff. And even when I sit down to have my coffee, I don't look at social right away. Okay. So I am very, very protective of that time because I know that I need that. My body needs that. My mind needs that. And then from there, it's going to set me up for an amazing day. Then even at that point, I only allow myself about an hour to be on social. And part of that hour is supporting my Brand Creators Academy members because I want to be in there. I'm not scrolling through my feed. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not scrolling through my feed. I'm not scrolling through Instagram. I'm not over on Clubhouse. I haven't even been on a Clubhouse room yet. And I'm not even sure if I will. I'm not missing it. I'm not missing out. Some people be like, oh, I'm going to miss out. I'm not missing out. I'm focusing on creating content for my case study brands. I'm focusing on taking care of my Brand Creators Academy members. I'm focusing on trying to get the digital product creation fast track workshop, the email list building fast track workshop. I'm looking to get those out to new people with Facebook ads. We're working on that. That's all. We're not working on every single thing. Oh, Clubhouse, cool. Oh, Instagram, oh, Snapchat, oh, that's cool. Not doing any of that. Okay, discipline. Okay, so give yourself rules. When can you be on social? And then the next thing is this, and this can be scary for a lot of people. Clean your inbox. Okay, clean your inbox. Get it where it's manageable now to where you're only getting messages from people that you want to be receiving messages from. And hopefully one of them is still me. Okay, but if not, if I'm distracting you, and I'm not adding value to you, and I'm not making you feel as though you got to go chase 100 different things, if that person, even if it was me, just go ahead and unsubscribe. You can always resubscribe later. Just unsubscribe. So one of your pieces of homework is going to be going through your inbox, looking through your messages. Instead of just archiving them or deleting them, go in there and say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to unsubscribe, right? Or if you want, you can set up a little rule inside of Gmail, and you can say, when this person comes in, drop it in a folder, and then that folder, it doesn't go in your inbox, it just pushes it over to another folder. There's ways to filter out what you're seeing, okay? If you're tempted with someone that sends you something to look at it and go, oh, cool, oh, Clubhouse, they're talking about Clubhouse. I should be on Clubhouse. And then you're starting to get tempted, and then it takes your eye off. And then what's going to happen is you're going to try to learn that, and guess what? You really should be over here focusing on building your digital product or creating your email list or building out content. That's what you should be working on. You know it, but you don't want to do it because, well, maybe it's hard for you right now, or maybe it's overwhelming for you right now, or maybe you're afraid that you're going to do this and it isn't going to work, whatever it is. So I'll learn over here. I'm still working on stuff because I'm learning. But in reality, you're really not doing anything that's going to move the needle unless you actually do something. All right. So that, my friends, is how we are going to overcome procrastination and overwhelm. And if you follow that, if you go through that, you're going to feel really good, and you are going to get stuff done, which will lead to getting results. All right. So I encourage you to do this. All right. I encourage you to do this. And if you are listening to this on the podcast and you want to pick up this conversation, then I will link this up in the show notes of this episode, and it will lead to this live that I'm doing right now. So you can go ahead and voice some of your thoughts in that comment thread. All right. But I definitely think that you should do this at least once every 30 days for at least the next 6 months. Keep yourself moving. All right, guys, that officially is the jam session. And now I am open for questions. So let's dig in here. Let's see what we got going on. All right. A lot of questions. Cool. There's Octavio. What's up, Octavio? Always good to see you, man. Gio says, I hate procrastination. It's my kryptonite. Yes. Okay. Alejandro has a question. What should the constant blog content be about, which includes adding value, struggling a bit there? Alejandro, I would need an example, but I literally just went through and gave someone advice on what to create content around. And a lot of times it just starts with the questions. So if I was you, I would be looking at what are the questions that people have that are asking, and can I write content around that to support those questions and those people? So I always start with questions. What are the questions, right? Like, so today we're talking about procrastination. I've had people say, Scott, how do you deal with procrastination? I struggle with it. I can't seem to get results because I struggle with procrastination. What do you do? Here we are, right? And what did I title this episode again? How to overcome procrastination and take action. Boom, right? So a lot of times also it's going to be getting ideas from your email list. Your email list is going to going to message you, or if you put out YouTube videos, they're going to comment. You're going to get ideas there of what to publish. You can always do keyword research, go through and see what people are searching for to give you ideas and inspiration, and also know that there's traffic there. But in the beginning, or if you're struggling, do something. Something is better than nothing, right? And just put out a piece of content. Just like today. I mean, this came because I've had people ask me this over and over and over again. And if I can't get you past this, you're not going to get any results. I want you to get results, right? The idea for me to help you is to help you get results in your brand, period. All right. Okay. So hopefully that answered that one. And let's see here. Oh, Alejandro again, procrastination till the last minute because of content blog creation. Oh, okay. So you were saying that you're procrastinating on the blog content. Yeah. And that's how I would just commit to writing at least one blog post a week. Give yourself a date or a day every single week that's going to be published, as if you were in school and your teacher said, by next Friday class, I want you to have this thing submitted. It needs to be submitted. And if it's not, you're going to get an F. And you're like, boom, I'm going to publish that thing. If it's perfect or not, right? I'm going to publish it. What's up, Todd? Good morning. D, good morning. Alejandro says, procrastinated because I was smoking in the boys' room. That's funny. It reminds me of the Motley Crue. Smoking in the boys' room. Who else remembers that song? Anybody? Scotty McRoberts, what's up, man? The truth. Yes, it is the truth. Hope you're doing well, man. D, I'm procrastinating now. I need to hire a new writer for my blog. I haven't posted a new blog for 2 weeks. It's okay. Don't feel bad about it. Do something about it. And D, you already said that you're going to look for a new writer. That's your main focus right now. Don't feel bad because you haven't posted in 2 weeks. Just fix that one problem, that one bottleneck. And for you, it's going to be hiring that writer. That's what you focus on. So what are you doing? What are the steps you're doing to get that fixed? Are you submitting to multiple, places? iWriter, FreeUp, Fiverr, like where are you going? Right. And just know that you're doing that. And if you do that, you're going to have that solution to that problem done. And now you're moving forward. Now we move on to the next thing. And D, I know a lot about your business because you're in the academy, but it's normal. And post this in BCA and you'll get a bunch of support, I'm sure. I feel like I could always do more. Yeah, Todd, that's a big one. And that's a big one for me. I'll be honest with you. I struggle with that a lot. And what I mean is we can all be doing stuff, right? I can always be doing more creative for a new Facebook ad. I could always be coming up with new products. I could always come up with more content, right? More. The thing is we need to understand that if we create that blueprint, that roadmap, and if we've detailed out all of the action steps and we're like, you know what, I'll give you an example. So this here, I showed up, I did this Facebook Live, okay, for our coffee talk. This here is getting reach. It's getting people to view it live. There's going to be people that are going to see it later. And that's great, right? It's also going to be taken and it's going to be cut and it's going to be added to a podcast. That's done. It's going to also reside on brandcreators.com as a podcast episode. Right. So that's people can find that by search now. Find it up on iTunes. Find it over here on what's the other one there? iHeartRadio, like any of the broadcasting streams, Stitcher, all of those, right? It's going to be broadcast there. So I need to be okay with like this thing, but I could sit here and go, I can then create another little mini clip, put it on Instagram. I could take another little mini clip and put it up on even Pinterest. I can do all these things. I need to know that that's enough for right now. And as long as I emailed my list this morning, which I did, right? And as long as I do this Facebook Live and then all that other stuff happens, I got to be okay to walk away at 1:00 today and go, I'm good for the day, right? I'm good for the day. And that's pretty much my Friday, by the way. My Friday is generally maybe 12:00 and then I'm done for the day. And today, actually, I'm going to go out and I've got some artificial turf that I just put down for the dogs. And I'm going to work on that a little bit this afternoon, which actually people would look at that as work. For me, it's kind of like therapy. I'm out in nature. I'm tweaking things. I'm raking. I'm brooming, and it's kind of fun for me now. When years ago that was work, To me, it's therapy now. But anyway, that's, I get that. Eric Winter says, I'm planning to do everything tomorrow. Well, that's fine. Figure out what that everything is and commit to it and do it. D, sorry to hear about your mom. Yeah, it was a shocker. I was young, 23, 24, I think. My son was 2 months old, who's now 22. So yeah, it was a long time ago. But yeah, I dealt with a lot growing up. And guys, if you want to know all of the story, I don't usually really even talk much about this, but I probably should. The Take Action Effect. If you go to Amazon, you'll find it there. You can find it on Audible if you want to hear me reading it. But this here talks a lot about that. And it shaped me to who I am. And I had a great mom, but had a mom with a lot of internal struggles, mental illness. A lot of her childhood was messed up and it was tough. But I learned a lesson, right? One lesson that I shared with you guys today. You know, you can't get help unless you admit that you have a problem, right? And that came from my mom. So thanks, Mom. So there you go. But yeah, let's see. Atlanta in the house. What's up, Derek? Better late than never. Yes, it is. Okay. Derek says, procrastination is my biggest obstacle. I have my day job and try to fit things in on the weekends, but what is the time I visit family 125 miles away? Wow, that's a long trip. I got to find the time that is holding me back. I'm going to try a calendar system and hold myself accountable. Yeah, just even if it's not a calendar system, you got to just break it down to what you're going to be doing. If you have a 125-mile drive, man, if there's any way you can record something in the car and then turn that into content, like that's one thing I'd be thinking about. I'm like, I got a 125-mile ride. What could I do? What could I do that could produce a piece of content? And it might even be you just, randomly thinking about a topic and then bullet pointing it. And then you just talk about it, record it, send it off, transcribe it, create a blog post. Maybe that's it, Derek, but yeah, you gotta just get down and really see exactly what you need to do and then create that plan. Amway was a temporary dream crusher. I'll never forget it. I went to my cousin Cindy's house, who is older than me, and I always looked up to her and very successful. And I showed up in a suit, 3-piece suit. My wife Lisa in a dress, and we were decked out. I never wear a suit. The only time I ever wore a suit was at a funeral or a wedding. And showed her the plan. I felt so embarrassed. And it was a great learning experiment experience. And what I learned from that too is, they had you read like books like How to Win Friends and Influence People. That still is with me to today. So yes, it could have crushed my dreams if I allowed it to, but I didn't. Alejandro says, cutting hair at home. And that, my friend, is why you are the professor. Yeah. Guys, you know how much money I've probably saved on haircuts over the years? I probably should do some math on that because I probably do my hair every 4 to 6 weeks. It's not hard, right? But I do the back all by myself and been doing that for years. Where within the 30-day plan do most of your BCA members get stuck and procrastinate? It's honestly, the 30 days, they can blow right through. It's then after that, it's like, okay, what's the next step? That's why we built out our stages, which has really helped a lot. And then we have these 2 calls that we do every month that also help people stay on track and accountable so they never get stuck. I would say a lot of times it's in the content creation side of things, because then it starts, the next thing that comes in is perfectionism. And then how to get it perfect. And then that's where we say, listen, just get something out there. Something's better than nothing. No one is going to see it right now. It doesn't matter. Post it. Get the routine going. Get the exercise, workout in a sense, right? That's what I would say. People get stuck with trying to perfect either that or digital product creation. Distractions include mascots scratching my face. Yes. How much time do you spend consuming? I don't spend much at all anymore. The only thing I really consume is more of this up here, the mental game, and always trying to figure out like what is going to help me continue to serve, people like you, and to stay grounded, and to get the most out of life. A lot of times it's for me is like, how do I keep my energy levels? How do I stay healthy? How can I incorporate a good lifestyle? That's a lot of what I consume. But as far as business goes, so I'll give you an example. Like right now in business side of things, it's not creating the content. It's not doing any of that stuff. I've already got that kind of, I'm good on that right now. My thing is like, I want to reach more people. So my biggest thing is like Facebook ads. That's been a struggle for the longest time, because it's easy to do it for like an ebook. We teach this, how to do it for an ebook, how to even do it for, a small digital product, how to do it for a lead magnet. Like that stuff is pretty simple. But when you go and you want to scale an ad to where you're spending $500 a day, $1,000 a day, to where you can get that ad to pay for itself and reach more people, bring people in, that's what I'm focusing on, to be honest with you. That's what I'm focusing on. So if there's one of my friends that is doing Facebook ads, I will reach out to them and I'll be like, how are you scaling? How are you getting past the 500 per day, threshold? Like things like that. So it's different for everyone, but that's where I would say is where I'm focusing on consuming and trying to learn more, is how to scale an ad. So this way here, you can have an unlimited, advertising budget. That's what I'm consuming more on these days. Sip. Yeah. Great advice. D, I needed to hear this. Right now, I feel like I don't have time for anything. Lately, all my mornings is all about the kids. We are on the second semester and feel like I'm getting behind. So working a little more with them. And after I feel exhausted, and it's hard to get back to my business until the evening. Yeah. Maybe it's only getting a little bit of that one thing that you can get done in the morning, and then don't put the pressure on you to get any of that done, and then work on your other stuff where you have a good solid block in the evening. Maybe that's the solution. I don't know. Everyone's life is different, but I would want to work in more of a concentrated block, even if it's 1 hour block. And then not feeling the pressure of, I'm not helping them with their schoolwork and I want to be doing this. It's hard, but this way here, it might relieve some of that pressure. How do you start doing something when you do not feel like it, especially during the pandemic? I guess I would need an example. How do you start doing something when you do not feel like it, especially during the pandemic? The pandemic doesn't stop me from doing something right here and creating content and working on my business. If anything, it gives me something to do. If you're talking about going out and experiencing like a live concert or something like that, yeah, that sucks that we can't do that stuff right now. But we have to just be creative and do other things that we can do. And to me, it's trying to get out in nature and do things like that a little bit more. Do you still use a good old fashioned to-do list? Yes, I do. I have a sticky note. Actually, it's the one that comes on your computer. It's a digital sticky note. I have that. And then I also have a notepad that I write in. And I do that pretty much every day. And I'll at least do it 2 to 3 times a week, where I'll just write out my big 3. And then from there, I'll do like extra things that if I have time, I'll do those. But the big 3 always come first. Octavio says homework approach works. Octavio's in the academy, and Octavio has a full-time job. And yeah, he definitely understands how to manage this, and homework approach definitely works. Let's see here. How are you rejuvenating this weekend? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do some yard work. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to play some pickleball with my son. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be outside. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to detach. I'm going to go work on my yard because I've got that artificial turf thing. I got some rock coming. I got 2 yards of this big decorative stone coming that I'm going to be moving around. So I'll get some exercise. I'll be in nature. I'm dressing up my side yard for my dogs. And I'm going to be outside a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. Todd says, showing my age. Yes, I remember Crew. Yeah, they were good. Octavio, love Motley Crue. They used to hang out into Rainbow here in Hollywood. Yeah, they did. Did that got the Crew reference, Brand Rockers? Dig that. I got it. How do we book the bonus niche drill down with you? Oh, Salma, you should have already received that. Message me, Scott@brandcreators.com, and we'll get that set up. In what she's talking about, anybody, or I think it was the first 10 that joined the niche finder fast track workshop. I was doing a private niche drill down. So you'll submit your niche, and then I'll drill down, and then I'll send you a video with all of that I find. K, I had to hire a new writer. Also, post your job on Upwork and you'll get several candidates on day one. Then just review their profiles. Easy peasy. Yes. Thanks, Kay, for doing that. Alejandro. Okay, good. We're helping each other. I like this. Alejandro, are you in BCA? Okay. Yeah. You guys are again talking. Yeah. Octavio has a great template for hiring content creators. It's pretty good. Is it easy to start a podcast? What do you need? Do you have to edit? Okay. So is it easy? It can be. If you want to start a podcast, it's as simple as literally taking your phone and recording into it. That could be your podcast. I will say this, if you're starting a podcast and you have not yet created your website, started creating content there, I would probably have you do that first and then add the podcast later. The podcast is another form of media that, yes, works really, really well because you have good engagement with people, but people still need to be able to find you. If you put a podcast up, people aren't necessarily just going to search for you on iTunes and find you. They can, but usually it's found by other types of marketing. So someone that comes in from a Facebook ad for me, they might look me up and go, oh, he's got a podcast. I'm going to go listen to his podcast. And then they're going to then start to hear more about me and kind of like my methodologies and things like that. So it's not hard. You can start literally with a phone, or even just a little Zoom mic, which is $100. Or you can buy one of these guys for around $300. And I've got a mixing board for another $500. You can do all that, but you don't have to. It can be as simple as just an external mic into your computer. Let's see. The Magic of Thinking Big, another great book recommended by Amazon. Yes, it's another good one. Oh, not Amazon, Amway. What gives you energy and keeps your energy high? Bulletproof in the morning. I do fast until about 1 or 2 o'clock. I know some people my wife does not fast for that long. But I can do it. I can go even longer and I feel really energized. So what energizes me is being able to connect with people like you. That lights me up. And I'm not just saying that, it literally keeps me energized. Being able to hear from you. I have some people that video me through a video ask app. I shared that on Facebook yesterday. That lights me up. So just being excited about building things and helping people. I love building things. That's why I'm building 2 case study brands inside of the academy, because I like doing it. And then what's cool about it is as you build this thing, you can also sell it down the line. So that's always cool. So that's really what lights me up, energizes me, is that. FBA Hustle. What's up? Do you do any Amazon private label nowadays? At the moment, I am not doing any more physical products right now. We are dabbling with Etsy, though, by the way, and I shared this inside the academy. We're playing around with Etsy, and it's doing pretty good. So what I like about that is we can sell physical products without us actually having inventory anymore. So I really like that. If you're in the academy, you guys already have seen that. Let's see. It depends. Can be as low as 20. Okay, so giving more advice there, which is great. Thank you, Kay. When are you planning to do the next workshop? Good question. Not sure yet, but we are toying with 2 different topics, and I would love you guys to give me a little bit of feedback before we wrap up here today. The next one I'm thinking about doing is content creation for traffic. So content for traffic would be a workshop, would be a fast track workshop. So basically how to find content ideas that are getting traffic, and then how to actually create the content, and then how to optimize the content. In those things. So that would be one workshop. The second one is going to be all about email writing, like email copy, and then email promotion. So more or less email marketing. So which one out of those 2 would anyone that's here or even on the replay would want to see done first? Because that will be the next one coming, one of those. But right now, don't have a date. We are just wrapping up the Niche Finder Fast Track Workshop. So that's just about wrapped up right now. And then we're going to take a little bit of a breather, and then we're going to focus on Brand Creators Academy. That's where we're focusing a lot of our time. Let's see. Are you selling merch on Etsy? Yes, we are. And let's see. Karen says traffic. So I think what you're talking about is the content for traffic. Kate says content creation, how to find ideas. Definitely that would help with blog procrastination. Yes, it would. And then Salma says, I vote for content creation and optimization. Cool. I would love to do the content creation workshop first. Ruth, you're awesome at it right now. I know you can always learn more by going through it again, but man, you guys are crushing it. Content creation for traffic. Okay. This is good. This is good. All right. Cool. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Monday, we will be back here. Okay. 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. We will be back here. But in the meantime, if you guys need anything or have any questions, definitely drop them in the comments. Let me know. And just do me a favor. Share this with someone that you think would benefit from it, right? Who would you like to invite to our morning coffee talks? And if you want to, you can just send them the link, takeactioncrew.com, have them check it out for themselves. But really what we're doing here is we're trying to help people, impact people in a positive way, trying to be some positive light out there for people in this crazy world that we're living in right now, which to me is still full of great opportunities. And if we hang together, we can do it. And one of them, one of those ways to get through all of this is to do what we just did today. Identify where we're stuck, surround ourselves with like-minded, positive people, and take action. And getting over the procrastination, the overwhelm, that will lead you to results, period. All right. So that's what we need to do. All right, guys. So that is it. That is going to wrap up this coffee talk. This went longer than I thought. We almost hit an hour here, which is crazy. But guys, this has been awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you. I truly, truly do. And we'll be back here Monday. So make sure that you show up here and get a little dose of positivity, inspiration, and action steps. All right, guys, take care, take action, and I'll see you guys soon.